And the entire audience sang it back. Ended up being an incredible show. And from that point on, people sang it every single night. I Want to Hold Your Hand came on the radio in 1964. I wanna hold your hand. That was going to change my life because I was going to successfully pick the guitar up and learn how to play. You know, I saw Elvis on TV. But you ain't no friend of mine. When Elvis first hit, I was 9 or something. I was a little young. I tried to play the guitar. It didn't work out. I put it away. But the keeper was 1964, I Want to Hold Your Hand, on South Street with my mother driving. I immediately demanded she let me out. I ran to the bowling alley, ran down a long neon lit aisle, down the bowling alley, into the bowling alley, ran to the phone booth, got in the phone booth, immediately called my girl and said, "Have you heard this band called the Beatles?" And after that, it was nothing but rock and roll and guitars. There was a terrible arena that I think used to be in Chicago, and it was one of the most awful sounding places I've ever been in. And we did a sound check, and it didn't even sound bad. It wasn't good enough to sound bad. That's how bad it was. And so I figured this is going to be nothing but disaster. But that night we kicked into Hungry Heart, and the entire audience sang it back. Ended up being an incredible show. And from that point on, this is way pre-internet, people sang it every single night. That was exciting. It was very exciting. I think I just started reading about it, and there was a little record store in the village that was importing all of the punk rock records. And I went and I bought every record, not that I'd heard, but that I'd heard about. So I bought all the early punk rock records unheard, just to see what that was about. And so that was really the first time I actually heard the records, was when I brought them home and played them by myself in my workroom. It would have been 1978. I went out and I bought a Hank Williams Greatest Hits and played it on my little stereo in Asbury Park over and over again. I'm so lonesome I could cry. And I don't remember what made me run out and buy Hank Williams Greatest Hits, because it took me quite a while before I recognized it as being the invaluable piece of music history that it is. Like a Rolling Stone, I had heard the songs of Bob Dylan that were hits on the radio. Answer is blowing in the wind. I didn't hear all the early Bob Dylan records. I first heard Bob when he was on Top 40 radio. So that must have been 64, 65. And it was Like a Rolling Stone. So that changed my life. In a friend's kitchen, there was a guitar, a guy that played the saxophone, and a drummer. That was our band, and they were called The Merchants. They lasted for 2 rehearsals, is my recollection. There was me, Donnie Powell was on the drums, and I can't remember the name of the guy that played the sax, but that's the first time I played in a, quote, rock band.